Hi guys and welcome to this video. Today we're looking at these two cameras, the brand new long-awaited Blackmagic PYXIS and my trustworthy FX6, which is already 4 years old. I have to say I did not buy it 4 years ago. I was an OG Blackmagic shooter, but let's talk about that later. So I just wanted to make this video because I was like, Blackmagic is bringing out a new camera. I was always shooting Blackmagic. I had the 6K full frame Ursa G2 4.6K and also the 12K Ursa. And the beginning of 2024 I sold all my Blackmagic cameras. The reason for that was some kind of workflow things, also some kind of rigging possibilities or no possibilities at all sometimes, and also the ease of use when you are on set. So what do I mean with ease of use on set? For instance, the 6K Pro was everything I wished for in terms of image quality, but I wasn't really happy with the body design. It was chunky and clunky and it was more wide than high or whatever. So you guys know it, the form factor was always a topic. So I decided to ditch my Blackmagics and switch over to Sony. Right now I'm filming on the Sony A7 IV. I had this camera for 5 years, I guess, and it always did a great job on especially photo work, but also video work, gimbal wise, rigging wise as well. But I always wanted to have some kind of more professional things like internal NDs, which I love a lot on the FX6, and also the possibility to have proper audio in terms of audio jacks. So I used the A7 IV for a lot of smaller projects, running, gunning and stuff, and it was always nice. But the thing is, I always loved the Blackmagic codecs, Blackmagic RAW, and to be honest, it did not bother me a lot that, for instance, my Ursa 12K had only B-RAW, exactly like the new PYXIS does. I'm not that kind of guy who often has to bring the stuff you film or deliver the footage to the client right after the footage and stuff, so I have the time to edit and bring it to ProRes or whatever codec you want. So this wasn't a deal at all for me, because there were many people out there who said, oh, I don't know if I'm fine with the only B-RAW option. So I have to say this was also no topic for me at all. But I think there are many people out there who have some thoughts about the FX line from Sony and also the Blackmagic line right now. So let's jump in, look at some footage, compare them. We have some laser optics on, so let's check some footage and then see you back in the studio. So, what do you think? Do you see a difference? Do you see the magic of Blackmagic's codec with Blackmagic RAW? Or do you think, actually it's the lens, or it's the lighting, or it's the job in general? So if I take my FX6 for instance, it's a really good documentary camera, run and gun camera, also solo operating camera, but it can be used also on bigger sets. You can rig it. I like the possibilities of the cage, but I have to say it made my life in working conditions a lot easier sometimes than for instance it was with the 12K or with the 6K Pros I used. The lack of internal NDs, which we have here again, is for some people maybe some kind of it's a bummer. And also the lack of autofocus. I mean, it's always nice to have when you're solo operating on a gimbal. You have no focus puller, no AC also, whatever. So nobody can tell me that it's not nice to have autofocus inbuilt when you need it. Things I like about the Blackmagic. So everyone was a little bit upset with this monitor on the side. I mean, yeah, it's obvious that you can't use it for filming like that. Then it's easy to use it on a tripod or sticks, but there's no chance to use it very well without a monitor on field. So this must be clear that you need to use a monitor, but I always use a monitor also on the FX6. I mount it right here, and then it's fine. 5 inches, 7 inches. I personally prefer 7 inches. Monitors, but this wasn't a deal for me. I also like that it's built rock solid. It's much more well built than the Pocket line. They were made of cheap plastic, and you always had the fear when it drops that it smashes into pieces. So I like that a lot. Also, I like the easy workflow of Blackmagic. When you compare the menus from this to this, it's a big thumbs down for Sony menus, but everyone who worked with Blackmagic menus before knows it. They are just great, they are simple. It's like an ARRI menu. I would say Blackmagic and ARRI really do the best menus, and when it comes to operating a camera. I like the form factor. As you can see, it's not that big. I would say it's maybe just as big as the FX line from Sony, the FX6, but I would say it's a bit heavier. It blew my mind when I unpacked the FX6 and I just recognized how light it is. It's like, oh, it weighs nothing. So this does have some weight, but it feels solid. So I like that as well. What I don't like is that we have some fans here, and if you don't use a top plate or whatever, and in Germany it's not possible to have some or that much equipment for the PYXIS right now. So I would say it's easy that it's getting some rain out there or whatever when you work on sets where it's not dry and safe. So I think this is a topic there. Definitely need some rigging. Also, Blackmagic codecs, Blackmagic RAW. I think everyone who's in the Blackmagic world or worked with Blackmagic knows that they have amazing codecs. And yeah, open gate is just amazing on this camera. Paired with these anamorphics, it looks gorgeous. What I don't like that much about the camera is, in fact, the lack of internal NDs a bit. When you are comfy with these kind of NDs from the Sony, with the variable ND, it's so nice and smooth to adjust them. Also on the 6K Pro line, the internal NDs were just working fine. I always see myself like tapping, where's the ND button, but it's okay. So I would say, yeah, the lack of internal NDs and maybe the lack of autofocus is a thing, but to be honest, I'm focusing manually 85% of the time when I'm not working on a gimbal or when it's not that content fast stuff. So where I see myself using this camera is more in a narrative kind of way, or also for music videos. I do shoot a lot of music video stuff, and there it's always the thing that I use. No autofocus lenses, so it would make no sense that this camera have autofocus. I couldn't use it anyway, so I think that's okay for me. And the rest, for the price and what it is, yeah, it's a really great camera. And if you're considering to buy it, maybe just rent it out, check it out if it's something for you. I have to say, it's also a very important thing that I want to pick up cameras and say, I like working with that. It does make no sense. It's like you spend thousands of euros or dollars or whatever. You're looking at the thing and you think, yeah, I just don't like working with it. So then it makes no sense at all. So in conclusion, I think this is a different tool than this, and you need to choose which tool is right for you. So if you need the solo operator stuff and it needs to be fast but also very good quality, and the options that you can rig it out as well, then the FX line is still a great option, even when people say, oh, it's already 4 years old. I mean, look at every sensors, they are 10 years old, 12 years old, and nobody says, oh, they're already 12 years old. So that's a thing I don't bother that much. So the camera must work for me. It needs to work in working environments, and they both do, but they differ from each other. And I think that a lot of people out there were having the same thoughts like me. Are there differences? How are the differences? How is the image quality and stuff? And I think you just saw it yourself, the comparison between the FX6 and the PYXIS. So I think I could help you a bit, and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.